Hey everyone, welcome back for some more Standard here on MTG Arena, and in today's video, I'm bringing you what I believe is the best control deck. This is 4-color control, also known as Jeskai Black. This deck got popular a few months ago, and it's basically Jeskai control, but instead of Shiko, it runs Inevitable Defeat. So this is where the black and the 4 colors come from, right? You have the Jeskai colors, red, blue, and white, but then you're also adding black for Inevitable Defeat. However, my build features a card from Avatar that I will talk about a little bit later that also splashes in black. Most of the decks that I've posted to my channel have been either mid-range or aggro decks, and I myself have historically mostly been an aggro and mid-range player in Magic the Gathering. But I've started expanding my repertoire, and I have really settled in with this deck. This is one of my favorite decks to play now, and really the performance of this deck has well exceeded my expectations. Just look at this. Look at this crazy run that I am on with this deck. All of these matches best of 3. Most of those matches played in Mythic. I think a big reason why this is potentially the best control deck right now is the life gain. A lot of creature-based decks right now get off to pretty strong starts, and while you may be able to address that, you have your board wipes or you have your removal spells or whatever, you're probably still going to take some damage and you're just going to start losing some life. And the Jeskai colors offer spells that allow you to gain some of that life back. That's one of the things that's missing from Azorius control, because Azorius control doesn't really have a way to gain life outside of Authority of the Consuls and Beza. That's kind of it. But then splashing in black also gives you another possible source of life gain in the form of Inevitable Defeat. I'm going to talk more about this card in a little bit. Let me get into the specifics of the deck, and I'm going to start with what I consider to be the core. This is kind of where I started building the deck from, and really I think whether you're playing 4-color control or Jeskai control, this is where you're going to want to start. 4 Get Lost, 4 Normalize, 4 Lightning Helix. I think out of all of these, the most important actually is Lightning Helix, and that's for a few reasons. One is that cheap, efficient removal in the format is very important right now. There are so many strong creatures that can come down in the first 3 turns, and it's very important to have a good answer for them. And moreover, Lightning Helix does answer Ouroboros if you can get it before the counters get put on it. Not only that, it's 3 damage to any target, so you can just hit your opponent directly. If you're in a control mirror or you go up against artifact stacks or whatever it is, you just hit your opponent directly, you still get the value from it. But then, as I said before, the life gain. It's so important for control decks to have some way to gain life. It's very likely that you're going to fall behind in life at some point. That's just the way it is. You're playing a long game. Your opponent's going to hit you with something, and you need ways to gain that life back. And look, you got 4 Lightning Helixes in here. That's 12 life in a game. That's really significant. But what about these other ones I mentioned, right? 4 Get Lost and 4 Normalize. You'll find a lot of lists that are not doing this anymore. They're not running 4 copies of Normalize. They might run 3. They might run 4. Not running 4 copies of Get Lost. In fact, you'll find lists that are not running any copies of Get Lost at all. I think that is insane. I have no idea why you would not run Get Lost. This is still one of the best removal spells in the format. It doesn't just hit creatures, it hits enchantments, it hits planeswalkers. Kaido is still being played, Elspeth is still being played, Ugin is even still being played. Then you got all these enchantments, whether it be Storm Chaser's Challenge or Artist's Talent, Airbend Ascension, the new sagas from Avatar like Legend of Kuruk. So there are just so many good targets for Get Lost. And Normalize, some of its value has been lost with the addition of Badgermal Cub, because it's easier for your opponent to pay the 3 mana, right? Or the 3 costs to have that spell not be countered. However, look, if you're on the play and you have Normalize in your hand, your opponent's just stuck. They have to play around Normalize for the rest of the game. That's a huge advantage just in and of itself. Even if you don't have it, or even if you don't cast it, the fact that your opponent's thinking about it, that is a huge advantage. And if you do have it and you're able to counter their Badgermal Cub, now you have set them way far behind. But another key thing that people are undervaluing here is the exiling. You exile that card. You got Lessons using the graveyard, or rather any deck that is using Storm Chaser's Talent using the graveyard to some capacity. You got Sultai Reanimator. You got any of these cards with flashback, whether that be Nature's Rhythm or Winter Night Stories. They're all just exiled. They're gone. You don't have to worry about them anymore. So these 4 pieces right here, these are extremely efficient spells. There's such good value for only 2 mana. Efficiency is so important right now, because in order for control decks to keep up with these really powerful creatures, these really powerful decks, these really powerful combos, they have to be efficient. And not only that, running this many strong, efficient spells that are 2 mana, it makes room to allow you to play your other lands tapped. If you have all these spells that are just 2 mana, all the times that you have an odd number of lands, you can play that odd numbered land tapped, and that's a huge advantage for this deck, to not have to always shock yourself, or you don't have to worry about your surveil lands coming in tapped. You can kind of play around it. So seriously, I think that if you're building 4-color control or Jeskai control, start with this. Just start with 4 Get Lost, 4 Normalize, 4 Lightning Helix. These are your anchor spells. Let's move on to a couple other pieces of removal, and this is where my deck starts to separate itself from others. So I have 2 copies of Pinnacle Starcage and 2 copies of Day of Judgment. You'll find a lot of these 4-color control lists, and even really some Jeskai control lists, that are running very few board wipes. I gotta tell you, I don't think Starcage is really that good of a sweeper. You know, it's not quite as good as Temporary Lockdown, because the Starcage is a little bit easier to remove. That it's always been that way, right? Since this card came out in Edge of Eternity, it was kind of like, oh wow, we thought it was really good, but then we started trying it and it was like, this card's actually kind of mid, right? Because artifacts are easier to remove. But I don't know what it is. Right now, something about the format, this card is just crushing it. I think there's just a lot of tokens that are being played in the current format. All these Storm Chasers talents making all these 1/1 otters. I get a lot of games with like map tokens and clue tokens and all this other random stuff. Then there's of course the demons from Unholy Annex, although Unholy Annex isn't really being played as often as it used to be. A lot of decks have started to jam more creatures into the 1 and 2 mana slots, and Pinnacle Starcage is just more valuable. You know, it's more likely to sweep up a bunch of stuff. And the fact that it exiles all those things really is useful, but I think the main thing really is just getting rid of all the tokens. You know, all the tokens are gone. So I don't really know what it is, but Starcage is just performing really well for me now. It is a little bit taxing on this deck because it's double white, and having double white by turn 3 is a little bit unlikely. The Day of Judgment is also double white, but you can potentially get to that double white by turn 4, or maybe even turn 5, because you know you're able to buy yourself some time with the life gain and the other removal spells, right? So it's a little bit less taxing with the Day of Judgment, but it is a little bit more taxing with the Starcage. But seriously, just both of these, the Day of Judgment, the Pinnacle Starcage, I'm getting so much value from these. You know, give the Starcage a shot. Maybe you'll find that it's also performing well for you. Then we get to the first splash of black, which is Inevitable Defeat. I think Inevitable Defeat is just fantastic. This is an awesome removal spell. You can exile any non-land permanent. It can't be countered. Your opponent loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. That is just fantastic. You know, super mega value from this. I was trying 4-color control before, you know, a couple months ago when it was first getting some attention, and I was a little bit surprised at how I was getting this card, but it was kind of not doing enough, which sounds so strange because it seems like it should do enough, right? Like it's got everything. I think it's just the fact that it's 4 mana. The list that I was having before at that time, I didn't have enough of these cheaper spells. You know, I don't think I had 4 Get Lost. I might not have had the Starcages in there. So I think the fact that I didn't have some things to kind of hit earlier on in the game, it made me kind of lean on the defeat a little bit more. But then the fact that it's 4 mana, sometimes it would come a little bit too late. So I think this spell is excellent, but you do need some of these early things, you know, to just give you that little bit of cushion early on, so that then when the Inevitable Defeat comes, it's just kind of like, you know, carrying you through a little bit by giving you this extra value. Moving on to blue. So I have 3 copies of 3 Steps Ahead. I think that the format is just a little bit too fast to run 4 copies of 3 Steps Ahead, even in Azorius control. You know, 3 feels like a good number. Paying 3 mana for a counter spell, it is a little bit slow, and you also don't want to have a deck full of counter spells like 4 3 steps and 4 normalized, because look, people are running Cavern of Souls. People are also just playing around counter spells. People may have counter spells themselves, you know, whether it be spell pierces or negates or whatever else. So having hands full of counter spells, it's not really always that useful. Now we get to another aspect that kind of separates my deck from other 4-color control lists. 4 copies of Consult the Star Charts, 4 copies of Stock Up. Any control deck is going to run Consult the Star Charts and Stock Up, right? But why am I running 4 copies of these? When I had played 4-color control in the past, one of the things that I found super surprising is that I was actually running out of cards. I didn't have 4 stock ups. I had 4 consult the star charts because kind of like a theme with the 4 color control was having as many things as possible being instant speed, but I was running out of cards. I didn't have enough stuff. I didn't always have enough gas. And let me tell you, just going up to 4 of each of these, it makes a world of difference. If I'm at turn 4 and I don't have a land in my hand, I'm just going to cast stock up. I'm going to find that land. I'm going to cast it, and then I'm still going to be able to hold up either Get Lost, Normalize, Lightning Helix, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you can just use the 3 mana, get your land, and then hold up 2 mana removal counter spells. It just works. I don't know what to say other than that. It just works. Sometimes I'm a little bit stuck on lands and I just need to consult the star chart to be able to find a land in the first 3 turns. It works just fine if I don't need to respond to what my opponent's doing. And then later on in the game, you know, before I'm really popping off and taking things over, you know, right before that, when it's kind of like on the cusp and I still have access to these card draw spells, you know, I still have a consult the star charts, I still have a stock up. It gets me just that little bit extra that I need. Now we get to the good stuff. So I'm going to talk about this card first because Jeskai Revelation is an absurd card. This is ridiculous. We know how this works. Controlling your opponent throughout the game, you cast Jeskai Revelation, and then hopefully you win right from that point because it does everything, right? You gain life, you do 4 damage, you return a permanent, you get your mugs, you draw your card, all this stuff. Now, 7 mana is quite taxing, and there's no mana ramp in this version of the, you know, of a Jeskai Revelation deck. So you do need to be a little bit cognizant of that. Don't be afraid if you see this card with a stock up or consult the star charts or surveil land. If you see it too early on in the game, don't become attached to it. There have been many situations where I've seen a Jeskai Revelation and that's my top end and I want it, but I have to just get rid of it because it's not the time, right? It's just going to clog up my hand and I'm not going to be able to keep answering my opponent's stuff. So it's very important to not be attached to the spell, but you do need to also be aware of how many of these that you're getting rid of. For example, if you had one in your opening hand, but you took a mulligan, you might need to get rid of it, right? So that's one that's gone. If you see another one a couple turns later with a surveil land, you might not want to get rid of that one, even though it's not the right time, you know, to cast whatever, because look, this is your top end. And if you get rid of 2 of them, if one's in the graveyard and the other's in the bottom of your library, you got to try to dig for that one more copy of it. And that one more copy might not actually be enough to close the game. You know, it's not that rare for me to need a couple Jeskai Revelations to really seal the deal. You know, if my opponent is hanging on even after I've done the first Jeskai Revelation, the next one that usually just easily closes things out. So you do need to be very careful with this card. In general, the first Jeskai Revelation that you see, if it's too early, just get rid of it. Don't become attached to it. In a lot of cases, you're just going on to do 4 damage to your opponent directly. Sometimes you just hit him directly with the Lightning Helix, hit him directly with the Jeskai Revelation, because you just need to do damage, right? And look, with the Lightning Helix, that's 12 damage to your opponent. With the Jeskai Revelation, you know, there's 3 of these in here. That's another 12 damage to your opponent potentially. And then you also get the monks, of course. And another thing with that, you might want to save a Lightning Helix for when the monks are on the field, because obviously you're going to trigger prowess on them with the Lightning Helix. So that's another 2 damage that they're doing, you know, in total, 1 more each. Sometimes you need to be a little bit conservative with your resources. You know, you have to save that Lightning Helix, or you have to save your inevitable defeat. You know, sometimes saving inevitable defeat for when your monks are on the field, that's the difference between winning the game, because you've triggered prowess and now you do 3 damage to your opponent, right? Or they lose 3 life and you gain the 3 life and so on. Also, another big role for stock up here is after the monks are on the field. So like, look, once the monks are on the field, you have like 7 or 8 mana, possibly more than that, right? So that's a lot of mana to work with. Well, if you cast stock up, now you've triggered prowess with them, and maybe you find a Lightning Helix, or maybe you find another instant spell that removes your opponent's thing and then triggers prowess again, or something like that. Now, one thing about the Star Cage, you do need to be a little bit careful, because look, this is going to get rid of your monks. Although sometimes I have actually just cast the Star Cage even after I've cast Jeskai Revelation. You know, if I have another Revelation in my hand, maybe I'll cast a spell and then I'll attack with my monks so that prowess is triggered. But if my opponent's got more stuff on the field that I want to get rid of, I'll get rid of my monks and I'll just kind of reset from there, right? But you do need to be a little bit aware of this, and that is potentially a reason why you might not want to run Pinnacle Star Cage. Something like a Fire Magic, that could potentially get rid of your opponent's stuff, but then still save your monks, right? Because if you cast 2 instant spells, including Fire Magic, well, then your monks might be 3 3s, and you can do 2 damage to everything, your monks survive, right? And all that stuff. Even with that potential asymmetry happening, I still, truthfully, the Star Cage, man, Starcage is just doing so much work for me, so much heavy lifting in this deck. Now it is time. Saved the best for last. Fire Lord Azula. What a cool freaking card, man. This is probably my favorite card in Avatar. It is so dope. Here's the thing with Azula and why she's so I'm getting excited and like overwhelmed just thinking about it. So one of the key aspects of Jeskai control is playing Shiko, right? Because you play Shiko and now you get to pull your stock up or your Lightning Helix or your Get Lost out of your graveyard and you get to play it again, or you rediscover the way, right? If you're playing that, so you get to play that spell again. So now you get a double cast on Lightning Helix. You get to Lightning Helix your opponent again. That Lightning Helix has now done 6 damage and gained you 6 life. That's great. But Shiko is obviously only mana value 3 or less, right? So you can't copy everything. And not only that, you only get to do it once, only when Shiko enters. Well, what if instead there was a card that didn't limit you to only doing it once, or didn't limit you to spells that are only mana value 3 or less? You see what I'm saying? When Azula attacks, for one thing, you get 2 extra mana from the firebending, but now you got all these instant spells and all of them are copied. You can copy a Get Lost. You can copy an Inevitable Defeat. You can copy a Lightning Helix. You can have 2 Lightning Helixes in your hand. You cast them both when Azula attacks. Both of those are copied. You can copy a Consult the Star Charts. It is insane. Seriously, it is just crazy how much you can do when Azula is attacking. You've Lightning Helix to your opponent for 6, you gain 6 life. Now you've cast double Consult the Star Charts. The kicker, you're gonna get 4 cards off of this Consult the Star Charts. You can Get Lost 2 things. But here's the thing. We're not talking about just Lightning Helix and just Inevitable Defeat and just Consult the Star Charts. Just imagine for a second. Jeskai Revelation is a busted card. You know what's more busted? 2 of them. 2 of them for 1 casting cost. This is one of the nuttiest things I have ever done in Magic. Double Jeskai Revelation on 1 turn. 8 damage to your face. 8 life for me. 4 cards. 4 monks. 2 things return back to your hand. And look, if 2 of those are tokens, they're just gone anyway, right? I don't get to do it that often because it is kind of hard. For one thing, Azula needs to actually needs to survive, right? She needs to survive at least turn, and you need to have Revelation in your hand. And then you need to be able to attack with her too, right? But yo, let me tell you, this is just insane. It is absolutely insane doing double Jeskai Revelation. And I've gotten to do it a few times. And oh my gosh, the endorphins that are firing off in my brain when that happens is just like the 4th of July going off in my head. It is insane. And really though, it's not just the Jeskai Revelation. Like Azula is so worth it. She's so worth it in this deck, you know, just to have the chance, the potential to double Helix, double Get Lost, double Consult, any of these things. Honestly, I had a game where I did 3 steps ahead and I just did the looting, and that was excellent because I got to draw 4 cards and then I just had to discard 2 of them for only 3 mana. It is incredible. And the firebending too, you know, you get 2 extra mana to do all of this crazy stuff when you already probably have like 7 or 8 lands. I had games where Azula attacks, I had the mana to double Jeskai Revelation and double Lightning Helix. It is just nuts. It is crazy. I can't stop talking about it. It is just so insane. She just fits so well in this deck. Now, there's a few things with this. One is that Azula is legendary, right? And again, she has to come later on in the game. She has to be able to actually attack. And I've tried this build with more than 2 copies, and it really didn't work, as disappointing as that is. Furthermore, I would say it's maybe only like 25% of the time I get really good value from her, you know, so really most of the time I'm not, and that's because I see her too early. I have to put her in the graveyard, or I have to put her in the bottom of my library, or she's in my hand and I don't have the opportunity to cast her, or I cast her and then she gets removed, right? All this stuff. But it's fine because she's not necessary to win games. But there are some instances where these games are going really long or really grindy and my opponent's holding on, and I have that chance to cast Azula, and then it just ends the game. It's just too much value for my opponent to keep up at that point. But it's way too risky, in my opinion, to run more than 2 copies of her in this deck. Maybe there's another deck where you can take advantage of Azula and you can have more than 2 copies of her. In a similar manner to what I was saying about Jeskai Revelation, about how you don't want to get attached to this, you don't want to get attached to Azula either. It's really tempting to. It's like, oh man, there's an Azula, I can do my double spell. But if it's if it's not the time, it's not the time. You have to actually keep controlling your opponent, controlling the battlefield and all this stuff. So, grab that 3 steps ahead and sign up to fire Lord Azula, right? Or whatever it is. But she's just so cool, man. I really do think she's my favorite card in Avatar. It's just so awesome. As far as the lands, look, fronting 4 colors is kind of tough, right? But there are the means to do this. There are Surveil lands that turn on the Verges. There are Shock lands and all this stuff. And the lands have taken a bit of a while for me to fine tune, but really, I think I've nailed it. For the most part, I don't have trouble casting things when I need to cast them. The only real trouble I have is sometimes I need to mulligan, right? The first hand that I see. But look, that's going to happen regardless. If you're playing a deck that's 4 colors or 3 colors, whatever, that's just going to happen, right? It's inevitable that you're going to have to mulligan. For what it's worth, this deck mulligans really well, and I think a big aspect of that is because of the 4 consulted star charts and the 4 stock ups. Most of my games, if I need to mulligan, I just have to do it once, and that's it. I have my stuff. I'm good to go. I can hold on. I've won so many games after a mulligan. And if you're planning on building a 4-color control deck, I think this is just it. This is exactly what you need from your lands. There's no need to have Starting Town. There's no need to have Multiversal Passage. Just 1 plains in here, because look, sometimes your opponent has a Demolition Field, right? You need to find 1 basic land, and you don't want to have it be a strip 9, right? You don't want to just lose your land. So I think 1 basic is fine, and the plains makes the color distribution more even, so that's why I put that in. Mysterized Village is in here. Perfect card. Poor Mountain Monastery, perfect card. This really helps you dig through your deck if you don't have a stock up or you don't have a consult the star charts. It's very common that these don't come in tapped for me because I have so many shock lands and surveil lands that are the basic types, right? So I think I've got the lands exactly right. If you're going to build a 4-color control list, you can just go ahead and copy these lands, try it out. I really don't think you're going to have any trouble. So I'm at least glad that I can provide that for you, if nothing else, right? If nothing else, here is the exact lands that you need for 4-color control. Sincerely, I think I've got this down. Now moving on to the sideboard. This is another case where I think my deck separates itself from others. So there's no black in the sideboard, and I really don't think you want to do that. I don't think you want to mess with Duress or other black spells. Now look, there are a number of good black cards in the format, right? Like something like The End, for example, for getting rid of all the combos and everything else. But I think it's just too risky. Black is the color that you're splashing in here, and relying on something that you're pulling in from the sideboard that's in your splash color, I just really don't think so when you have so many other options in the other 3 colors, right? The Jeskai colors. So let me talk about this. Annul is really important right now, man. There's so many artifacts and enchantments being played, and not only that, Izzet Lessons is like one of the most popular decks right now, right? So you're just going to slot this right in. Rest in peace, again, just, God, super necessary. Essence Scatter, I think this is more comfortable in the sideboard. I had it in the main board for a little while. I've also had it in my main board for like Azorius control, but I think it's better suited in the sideboard because sometimes even if you're going up against an opponent that has creatures, you might not necessarily need the Essence Scatter, but if you're going up against like Simic Aggro or Mono Green, then you're probably going to want the Essence Scatter because it's just loaded with creatures. 2 copies of Pyroclasm. So this is where I think my deck, again, starts to separate itself from others. You'll find deck lists that are running this in the main, but really I found that the Star Cage is doing a little bit better than the Pyroclasm. Even though the Pyroclasm is easier to cast because it's only 1 red, and even though it's cheaper at only 2 mana, I don't know what it is, man. It's just something about the Star Cage. Look, if you cast Pyroclasm, this is a sorcery speed thing, and if your opponent has Prowess Otters, they can potentially pump them up to make them too big for them to die of Pyroclasm anyway. Or if you have Innkeeper's Talent and your opponent puts a counter on the Badgermole Cub, now the Badgermole Cub is the 3/3, it doesn't die to Pyroclasm, but it would still be exiled to Pinnacle Star Cage, right? I do absolutely put this in against decks that go wide, right? I put it in against the Badgermole Cub decks, but I don't think it's necessary in the main deck. I think the Star Cage provides a little bit more flexibility. Look, a lot of those creatures in the Sultai Reanimated deck, the cheap ones, the 2 mana ones, those don't die to Pyroclasm, but they will be eaten up by the Pinnacle Star Cage. So I think the Star Cage is better in the main than the Pyroclasm. But you can do it differently, right? If you want to put the Pyroclasm in the main, go for it. You know, if you think that that works out better for you, again, it is much easier to cast. Alternatively, you can run Fire Magic, and you'll find a lot of deck lists that are running Fire Magic in the main. You'll find a lot of deck lists that are running Fire Magic in the sideboard. And I think the main advantage to the Fire Magic is the fact that it's an instant. But look, 3 mana as opposed to 2 mana to doing 2 damage to everything, right? And it's rare that you're going to do the 6 mana to do 3 damage to everything on Fire Magic. So I do think just the fact that Pyroclasm is 2 mana, I think it just barely jumps 1 step ahead of the Fire Magic, even though the Fire Magic is an instant. 1 copy of Aetherize. Aetherize is in a good place right now. This is one of the best counters to Earthbended lands because they just get returned to your opponent's hand, right? So that's the way to get around the Earthbending when they get, you know, when they come back after being exiled or killed, doesn't matter, they're just going to come back. But Aetherize is also really good against tokens because they're just gone, right? They don't return to your opponent's hands. So if you want to save it, you know, it is an instant 4 mana. It's easier to cast because it's only 1 blue as opposed to the double white from Day of Judgment. So this card definitely has its place. You could potentially consider having one of these in your main, again, just because it's an instant, right? Instants are very important for this 4-color control deck. 2 copies of Negates, this gets put in a lot, right? Not just for control matchups, but it's good against Izzet Lessons, good against any decks that run tons of artifacts and all that stuff, right? 2 copies of Abrade, Izzet Lessons, nothing else needs to be said. Scorching Dragonfire for all of the enduring creatures, so Enduring Curiosity, Enduring Innocence, Enduring Vitality, or Unstoppable Slasher, right? That's still commonly played in black decks, and Scorching Dragonfire takes care of that. So basically anything that you don't want to go to the graveyard that has these effects where it comes back, you can just easily swap out a Lightning Helix for one of these, or just swap out a Get Lost for one of these. 1 copy of Cutsel's Flanker. This is really good, and I think it's a no-brainer to have one of these in the sideboard for your control deck, pretty much any control deck. Main thing, of course, is exile in the graveyard, but it's flexible. You know, you can gain 2 life, scry 2, put a ++1 counter on this creature. You pretty much rarely do that. You know, it's either the gain life or the exile. But this is really good. It's definitely nice to be able to surprise your opponent with a flash, exile in their graveyard, because they might try to do some stuff on their turn, and all of a sudden, bop, you know, then it's all gone. And then 2 copies of Ultima. So Ultima, I think, is actually really good right now. It does take care of all the earthbended creatures. They do not come back. Any decks that are running artifacts, including Izzet Lessons, because there's Monuments to Endurance on there, right? And also, if there are creatures with death triggers, you know, some of these creatures have death triggers in addition to the earthbended lands. You know, people still play Orzhov Aristocrats, but there's other creatures too that have death triggers, right? Like the Enduring creatures or Unstoppable Slasher, all those things that I mentioned. I really do think that Ultima is in a good place right now. And I was running a copy of this in the main deck for a while. You might not need 2 copies though in the sideboard, and you also might not necessarily need this Scorching Dragonfire. You know, you might be able to make room for something like a Soul Guide Lantern just to have a cheaper way of exiling the graveyard. You know, something you can play earlier on in the game instead of having to wait for 3 mana for your flanker. Or look, there's only 3 pieces in here. You might want that 4th piece in the form of a Soul Guide Lantern. So that's potentially something that you can do in here. Maybe run the Fire Magic instead of the Pyroclasm, right? Something like that. But otherwise, I think these are generally a lot of things that you're going to want to include in here. You know, the Annuls, the Recipes, the Essence Scar, the Aetherize, right? The Negates, the Abrades. But you might be able to swap a couple of these for some of those other things that I mentioned. Now, I want to also talk about some other possibilities for the deck as a whole. So, you know, you could run more copies of Inevitable Defeat, but I think you have to really choose between the copies of Defeat and then the copies of Azula. So, like, if you're going to run 3 copies of Azula, you probably cut a Defeat. If you're going to run 3 copies of Defeat, you cut an Azula, and so on and so forth, right? Because they compete with basically the exact same slot, which is the 4 mana splashing black slot, you want 4 of this in this slot, and you have to choose which direction you're going to go. You know, maybe you could run like 1 more Inevitable Defeat or 1 more Azula, try it with 5, but I was kind of trying that and it felt a little bit clunky. There are some other possibilities. So again, you could have something like Aetherize or Pyroclasm Fire Magic in the main deck list, but honestly, these kind of catch-all removals, I mean, I guess Pinnacle Stargaze isn't really a catch-all, but just the fact that it doesn't matter what toughness these creatures have, the fact that it gets all of the tokens as well. You know, look, you're running 4 copies of Get Lost, so your opponent's going to get map tokens, right? Well, now you can just eat up those map tokens with the Pinnacle Starcage. And again, Day of Judgment, just, God, so good on rate in the current meta. 4 mana, just get rid of everything, as opposed to like Final Showdown, because Final Showdown is, I forget actually if it's like 6 mana or 5 mana to do it. I mean, obviously it's an instant, but I think Final Showdown is just too much mana to be able to get the same effect. And again, Fire Magic is really good, but it's not as solid on rate, you know, as some of these other spells that I'm talking about. I think if you're not going to run the Star Cage, you should run the Pyroclasms or maybe a third J of Judgment. But if you don't have Star Cage in the main, I think you do want at least one or two of these in the sideboard. Another card that's missing from here is Mystical Teachings. Mystical Teachings was kind of a core piece, even though most of those deck lists before only ran like 1 or 2 copies, but it was a core aspect of splashing in the black because now you get to do it again because you get to flash it back for the black cost. And that was another big reason for having everything be an instant, you know, things like Final Showdown, right? And not having stock ups, just having Consult the Star charts. But honestly, I was just disappointed in the Mystical Teachings. I found that when I had it, I was just like, man, I don't want this. I want another piece of removal, or I just want another card draw spell, or I want my board wipe, or I just want something. You know, I want the good thing instead of the thing that can go find me the good thing. Now, there's another very different direction that this deck can take, and that is a 5-color version. I want to talk about it here since it's basically a very similar list, and it's running 5 colors for Ancient Cornucopia. Because now, like I was saying before, life gain is very important for control decks, right? And the thing with Cornucopia is that it's for each color of that spell. Look at all these multicolored spells. You know, you have Normalize, Lightning Healers, Inevitable Defeat, Jeskai Revelation, Fire Lord Azula. You know, this is going to gain you a lot of life if you're casting all these spells. If you have more than 1 Cornucopia on the field, now you have access to 2 more mana of any color. It can help you cast, you know, any of your 3-color spells, but then you're also going to gain even more life. And some of those lists have been splashing in Songcrafter Mage. So now you're not only double spelling with Azula, but now you get this Shiko kind of effect where now something's in your graveyard and you get to play it again. Songcrafter Mage also does allow you to cast Jeskai Revelation again on the same turn because you can harmonize it. That all sounds great, but here's the thing. I was trying 5-color control. It really did not feel as good because Cornucopia is awesome if you can get it in like the first 4 or 5 turns, or preferably the first 3 turns if your opponent's not like, you know, having too many things for you to answer. But if it comes around later than that, you know, if it comes around like turn 7, 8, 9 or later, it really doesn't provide value, and that is not the thing you want to see. There was a pretty big discrepancy between games when I had the Cornucopia early on and games when I didn't. And the games when I didn't, I was really struggling. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that the deck felt like it was swinging one way or the other. Not only that, obviously splashing in green as well makes the mana a lot more difficult, and I was having a very hard time figuring out what to do with my lands. I mean, I just ran 4 starting towns at that point, which does make sense, right? Because it can help you cast anything, and the life loss isn't so bad if you're just gaining life off of Cornucopia and all the other spells. But truthfully, I had to mulligan a lot more when I was bringing in the green just for the Cornucopia. I said that mulligans with this deck is not so bad, and that's true, but look, if you're mulliganing more often, that is detrimental, but the main thing is that I was mulliganing down to 5. With this 4-color control, I rarely need to mulligan down to 5, but with the 5-color, I did. I think alternatively, you could just play a 4-color control version that splashes in green instead of black. The Cornucopia will gain you life just like the Defeat does. And then the Songcrafter Mage, you know, it's not quite as busted as Azula, but it's a similar effect, right? So you can try a 4-color control version that splashes in the green. 4 Cornucopias, 2 Songcrafter Mages. That could potentially be a really good build. If you want to try the 5-color version, here's what I would recommend. Only put in the 4 Cornucopias into the main, because that's the card that provides tons of value when it does work. The Songcrafter Mages, I think, belong in the sideboard, and you might want only like 1 in the sideboard, because Songcrafter Mage is really good against other control decks or games that just go on forever, because now you're getting extra value from your spells that you've already used. You get to use Stock Up again, you get to use Lightning Helix again, right? Any of these things. Or yeah, you get to cast Jeskai Revelation again, right? That's a big difference maker when it comes to control versus control. Getting double value from your cards is really important for those kind of matchups. So that concludes the deck tech. And one other final thing I want to say before we move on to the gameplay is that this deck is pretty hard to pilot. It really is. And on Arena, it is tough because the timer keeps going down. I've had so many games where like I'm running out of my timeouts, and I've had games where I've almost ran out of time in total, and you just immediately forfeit if your time runs out. where possible, try to make quick decisions, but otherwise you do need to take your time. These games are not going to end quickly. I've had matches with this deck that have lasted like an hour, which is kind of nuts, but honestly it feels good because it feels like I earned those victories. I've got some pretty interesting matches to show you. Let's move on to the gameplay. I hope you all enjoy. Okay, on the play. Oh, well, actually this is possibly not good. Yeah, I mean, if I don't get red, this hand doesn't do anything. Okay, this is better. I mean, hopefully I get some lands, though. That is a land. Okay. I can opt, maybe? Yeah. Okay. So this might be a prowess deck. Okay, I think it's worth holding up 3 steps ahead. That might not really be a problem, because they probably don't main deck Spell Pierce or anything. They can just counter the next Riddler that comes down. I mean, the problem is every creature that comes down is a threat. Maybe I'll just get lost it, actually. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Okay, Azula is interesting. Day of Judgment I probably don't need. Need to stock up or consult the star charts. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Gonna boomerang basics, maybe? No, not even that. They're just gonna open up the door. It is tempting to actually play Azula. Damn, I have 2 of them. Yeah, that is unfortunate. It is tempting to play Azula. I don't know of anything that can come down that is particularly threatening right now. Because this seems like the looting deck. It's got an opt. I don't know why you would play opt with that deck, but even Michael Plummer's deck with the Thundertrap trainers and the Splash Portal, I don't think he has opts in there. I forgot what deck I'm playing against. He does have Roaring Furnace, though. I don't think he has Frostcliff Siege. It doesn't make sense that Izzet looting. They haven't played a single creature yet. Izzet looting has a lot of creatures. Well, either way, I really don't think there's a good answer to this Azula. Let's just do it. Okay, they might have a flood, an Into the Flood Maw or a Towards the Tower. Okay, that's fine. Man, really, the draws have not been that good this game. Another 3 steps ahead. I mean, that I think actually is good enough to keep at this point, because now I have 5 lands. It's also tempting to just keep digging for lands. Is there a world where I cast this 3 steps just to draw 2 cards and discard? Probably, actually. While Azula is attacking? Yeah. So then I think we do keep this 3 steps, because I can do that for free. She's got Firebending too. And now we do this, and pay this for free and do it twice. Discard Azula. Okay. I think we can keep Pinnacle Star Cage and get rid of Day of Judgment. Okay, that was actually not bad. I think that was a good usage of what I had. Storm Chaser's talent is fine. Might get back an opt, which is fine. So this, I'm pretty sure this is the looting deck. I don't think this is Michael Plummer's version of prowess. Okay, that's fine too. Actually, I don't know, man. I have to see if they play another creature here, then I'll know. Nothing. I want to hold the counter spell. Just Lightning Helix that guy, and then copy Lightning Helix when Azula is attacking. Or is it better to double Lightning Helix them directly? That's 10 damage. Getting decent value from Azula right here. Okay. I think I'll counter that. Okay. I can get rid of this Mistrized Village. I'll have 7 lands. I don't want to get rid of the Star Cage. Not yet. I'll have double white now. I can double Jeskai Revelation. Is it worth double Jeskai Revelation? I don't think so. Because it doesn't win the game. Because if they have, well, they're not, I don't think they have Lessons. So they probably don't have Iroh's Demonstration. They probably don't main deck Pyroclasm. They probably don't main deck Fire Magic either. So, I mean, if I play double Jeskai Revelation and draw a whole bunch of cards, then how can they really stop me, right? With that many monks as well. I'm gonna go for it. And I'm just gonna do 4 damage to them directly with both Revelations. I might draw a Lightning Helix off this. Oh right, I can return this to the hand. I forgot. I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot. Okay. Oh, I'm so stupid. I forgot. I totally forgot. Okay. So that was insane. I do want to keep the Pinnacle Star Cage to get rid of the Otters. Tempting to keep Get Lost. I might not need the Inevitable Defeats. Pyroclasm might be better. Could also put in like Negate. But I don't know. I think Negate is not fully necessary. I think with just 3 steps and no more lies, that will be enough. Really tempting to put in Pyroclasm though. And I still don't know what they have. Is this the Michael Plummer list or is this the looting list? Aetherize is also appealing because of the Otters, and then it also gets rid of all those Vigilance creatures. Because Pyroclasm doesn't kill those. It doesn't kill Tiger Seal, doesn't kill Duelist of the Mind, doesn't kill Fear of Missing Out, definitely doesn't kill Quantum Riddler either. Actually, it is tempting to keep in the Inevitable Defeats just for Quantum Riddler. But I don't know if I need the Day of Judgments. That's probably a better swap. Do it like that. That's probably better. That's probably better. Let's try that. That's probably better. Man, Azula did a lot of work that game. That was cool. I got lucky that she didn't get removed the turn after she came down. This looks pretty good. Can't cast that Star Cage though. I can't believe I forgot that I could get rid of the token. Oh well. Okay, well now I can Star Cage. I'll start with the Falls. Okay. I might not need 2 sweepers, but I think I will keep that though. Sure. So it's the Michael Plummer list. So now we'll definitely have to hold up okay. Painful Stroke. We'll definitely need to hold up Normalize, I think. Because Quantum Riddler plus Flash Portal. Yep. Flash Portal on the trainer. I think that's actually fine. Really want them to play a second creature though before I Pyroclasm or Star Cage. Boomerang basics, sure. Okay. Sure. No Storm Chaser's talent. I might have to play these Thunder and Falls. I think Inevitable Defeat's good to keep. Yeah, I think that's fine. So both of our hands are loaded, obviously. Okay. Counter that, because they probably have Splash Portal. Oh, do they have Spell Pierce? No. I mean, even if they did, I could just defeat the Riddler then. Sure. So now we'll just play Gloomlake Verge. It's really tempting to actually play Azula just because they don't have Disdainful Stroke up. Let's just hold up defeat though. I mean, even if they counter Azula, it almost doesn't matter. They're going to be tapped out for a while anyway. They have so many cards in hand. They're going to want to play stuff. That is something I want to counter. But it also might not be bad to just defeat that. Because I do want to draw and discard off of this 3 steps. I think we can defeat that. Literally. Inevitably. We can inevitably defeat that. Let them scry and draw. I think they do have Spell Pierce. Really tempting to put this Azula down, but I don't think it's a good idea. They have to be holding Spell Pierce. Because if I like... Yeah, see? So it's not opt. It has to be Spell Pierce. Because it's something that's in response to my spells, and this can't be countered, so that's why they couldn't counter it. Okay, so since they have Spell Pierce, I won't be able to 3 steps ahead the Quantum Riddler. I think I do play Azula. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Sure. Sure. Probably Boomerang Furnace here. Okay, they're just gonna hold their counter spells. Spell Pierce, Disdainful Stroke, and Boomerang Basics. Sure. Still have Spell Pierce. Ooh, okay. Leaving yourself open here. Yeah, the problem is I guess Get Lost is my answer for Riddler, right? Now, if I try to 3 steps ahead something, it just gets countered with Spell Pierce anyway. So, I think I can Pyroclasm at least. And then maybe I can force the Spell Pierce out of their hand with something. We'll do it like this, just to kind of be a little more conspicuous. Well, here, let's not do it like that. Do it like this. So now I have all 4 colors open. I'll see if I can get them to use that Spell Pierce. Okay. I think if I counter this, they'll use it. Yep, there it is. They have a lot of value though. They have so many cards, so we'll have to see what happens now. And I might need to Get Lost that thing. Because It's going to flip into a... Well, when it flips, what's the mana value on it? Is it 0? So then I can Star Cage it? Oh, wow, that was a really good draw. But I think when it flips, it has a value, a mana value of 0. So I can exile it with the Star Cage. When they play this Storm Chaser's talent, I might need to Inevitable defeat that actually instead. Wait, what? How do I get rid of this? What? Is this going to be up here the whole time now? Hello? Wow, that is such an annoying bug. What is this? I can't even see. That is so annoying. Oh, it finally went away. Oh, it didn't go away. What the heck is going... Okay, whatever. We'll just leave the... This is so dumb. At least I can see everything that's important. Okay. That is not Offsprings, so that's fine. Well, I can't do anything about it anyway. But... Frostcliff Siege. Storm Chaser's talent. I should probably defeat that. Because they're going to go get something, right? Yeah, this is really annoying. Oh, it finally went away. Jesus Christ. Choosing not to play the Siege. I do think it's okay to wait until this flips, because even if they make all these tokens, they're all going to go away with Star Cage. I also want to, like, check it out. Like, I want to test it out. I'm pretty sure the avatar goes away, though. Lightning Helix was a really good find. I might be able to just burn them, honestly. Okay, let this flip, and then I'm gonna Star Cage the next turn and see what happens. Now they might play the Siege so that this guy can attack, I guess. But I think I just get lost that Siege, right? Or do I save get lost for Riddler? I think I do get lost the Siege, actually. Because, like, all these things are going to attack, right? Yeah, I think I get lost the Siege. I can wait until combat, right? Well, I think it doesn't matter. It won't matter. I mean, after this Lightning Helix, just 3 Lightning Helixes wins the game. Okay, Lightning Helix. Land is unfortunate. I really hope they don't counter because I just want... Okay, so now everything should go away, right? Including the Avatar. Oh, the Avatar doesn't. Okay. Well, now I know that. I guess it does have mana value 4, right? Okay. Had to test it for science. Okay. That Raw might do me in. We'll see. But I think I do want the negates, though, because this list runs much more non-creature spells than other kinds of these lists. Okay. I think that is lethal. No. Close, but no. Okay. So now I know that that Pinnacle Stargaze doesn't get this guy. So I think I do want some more counter spells in here. And it is tempting to actually get rid of Azula now. Because they're ready for it, so they'll just kill her as soon as they see her. Or bounce her or whatever. So let's get rid of that. Let's just play some negates. They'll just bounce her with Boomerang Basics or kill her with Furnace or whatever. Like, I'll just never get the chance to really reap the benefits, probably. This is probably good enough. Yeah, probably good enough. Does it matter here? I don't think so. I think I just have to shock in that Watery Grave. Sure. I think I should get lost the talent, right? Because then they don't draw a card and then they don't replay it as well. See if they bait, if I get a Spell Pierce out of this. Actually wouldn't be bad if I do. Sure. Play the Archive. Negate is good. Don't think I need to normalize that Storm Chaser's talent. Don't know if I need to normalize that either. Actually, I think I will because I have a negate coming up, and I don't want to use my Get Lost. I'd rather use my Get Lost on a Quantum Riddler that they try to splash. I think I do negate this, right? Instead of Get Lost. Land was actually good. And I think I can still wait. Sold the Star Charts, Dark Age. Pretty sure they don't have a way to do damage to me directly. Okay, so then I will Get Lost overall. But I can probably consult the Star Charts on this turn. Okay, I'm really glad that they plussed them up. Now they'll play Storm too. Okay, this is actually good. So then I can Get Lost and Star Cage. And then I can consult to find more gas. Ooh, double Lightning Helix is really tempting. I don't think I need the 6th land yet. Defeat and Lightning Helix might be better. Have this come in tapped. Get Lost. And then we'll Star Cage. Now, what will they get from the graveyard? Probably Boomerang Basics. Sure. They have Splash Portal? They do. Okay. So we'll just Inevitable defeat it. We'll draw 2 cards off this. Okay. So this is where we'll have to start using the Monastery, probably. They might go get their Splash Portal again. Or they might just get Boomerang Basics. Sure. I just Lightning Helix them, I think. If they play a talent, then I Lightning Helix the Otter. Damn, just a land off the top. I think I can hold this land, though. I don't think I have to give this away. Because I have a 7, so it should be enough for now. Yep, the Boomerang. Yep. Let's tap this and this. I need to tap a red, right? Oh, I should have left red or white open so in case I got lightning helix. Let's play this. Leave this open. Okay. I think we do just get Jeskai Rev and get lost. And then when they try to level up the talents, might even get lost this, I don't know. Let's see what they do. Because we can also activate this. Let's see what happens. Burning them out is not out of the question. I still have a defeat in there. I still have 3 lightning helixes. Okay. I think I do get lost it. Sure. Double Jeskai Rev. Okay, I can make it uncounterable, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I can. So I think I can actually win. I think I do 4 damage to them with both of these. And then doesn't the prowess make it work? Because it'll be 4 here and 4 there, so that's 10. Oh no, it doesn't. Then it's another 4. No, yeah, I'm 2 damage off. Okay. So we can let this go. Hopefully that otter doesn't get too big. Okay. Sure. 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 So I need to send the Riddler and the trainer back to hand. Okay. So let's return the Riddler, and then I think I do just do damage directly and try to go for the burn victory here. I mean, they're gonna abrade one of my monks. What are they doing? Sure. Sure. Oh wait, I thought we were at their end step already. Whoops. Whoops. At least they're tapped out. Okay, so now I just Pyroclasm. I thought I was at their end step already. I screwed that up. Pyroclasm and then consult the star charts. I mean, it's tempting to consult now. Did I play a land already? I think I did, right? I played this Verge. No, we'll leave that one available. Now we have... Oh, but this can't... I don't have enough for this anyway. Okay, so then we'll leave that one available and then just... Or wait. Do it like this. Okay, so I think just inevitable defeat, and I have enough time here, I can think about this. So I need to just burn them to win the game. So Jeskai Rev is another 4 damage. I think I do just take Inevitable Defeat and Revelation. Could also take Helix and Revelation for my monks. Alright, let's try that. And we'll try to save the Helix for when the monks are on the field if we can. Actually, no, we can just hit them directly with the Helix, can't we? Oh, so I should have just taken that defeat. Because just Helix, Jeskai wins the game. So I should have taken that defeat. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. They probably can't kill me. I can also make this uncounterable. I can make all my spells uncounterable from now on. So I should have this? Sure. I don't think they can kill me. Make everything uncounterable from now on. Now just hold up Jeskai Rev, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I could find a land with this, but I don't think it's even necessary, honestly. Just hold up Jeskai Rev, bounce the Riddler, do 4 damage, sim directly, and then just do it again. They can't kill me next turn. There's no way. There's no way they can kill me next turn. There's no way. Not with the life gain off of Revelation. Sure. Sure. I think even with the siege, it doesn't matter really. Okay. Return to hand. They're probably going to burn my monks, but I'll just go for the blocks anyway. Interesting. So now I just win, because there's no way that they can do direct damage to me. Not 10 damage. Not now. Not after combat. Dude, Jeskai Rev is just an insane card, man. It really is. I could have also returned the Siege. Like, that might have been something that could have been done, but it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Let's just return an Otter and do 4 damage. Doesn't matter. Sure. Man, Jeskai Rev, what a card, man. And Azula. Azula was so cool in the first game, man. I didn't get to actually do the double Jeskai Rev, but it would have happened if my opponent didn't concede. And then I got the double 3 steps ahead. What a cool match. I used like all of my time too. Look at that. I like almost ran out of time. That was cool. Really, really cool. Okay, on the play. Damn, I don't have access to red. It might not be too bad though, but if my opponent gets off to a strong start, then... Because I can probably find a red with the stock up, and then I have Helix and Inevitable Defeat to get my life back. This is a bit of a risky keep, but I wish this stock up was just a red land. Oh, normalize. That'll work. Okay, so this might be the... This could be the mono-white Ugin list, in which case Yeah. Okay, so then I can safely stock up. This is gonna be a very grindy game, damn. Okay. I'll definitely take the red land. And I should probably take the 3 steps. Be nice to have the other land too, though. How many spells am I really gonna need to counter? I need to counter the Planetarium. I need to counter the Ugin. And that's it. I mean, everything else in their deck is basically irrelevant. So, counter the Ugin, counter the Planetarium. I already have 2 counter spells. I can also inevitably defeat the Planetarium. Okay, let's take the land. Oh, it's not. Damn. It's tokens or whatever. Okay. Mono white tokens. So I should have taken that Day of Judgment probably. So now what? Play the Verge, hold up Helix and Normalize. I can actually inevitably defeat the Enduring Innocence. I think that's a good usage of that. I think I can take this damage as well. See if they do anything. Okay. I'm just gonna Lightning Helix that anyway. Sure. I think I can just Helix and hold up Normalize and get lost. Nope. Okay, double Jeskai Rev is a little awkward, but I do have stock up. I might just get 2 lands with it. So what am I going to keep here? The Verge and the Grave, right? Well, if I find a Lightning Helix, there's nothing for black that's 2 mana, so I should just do it like this. Okay. Really think I just take 2 lands. Because I might not need to consult with double Jeskai Rev. Another land's not bad. Another land's not bad. Interesting. So now I'm gonna get that Plains. That's on the top of my library. Do I need to do anything in response here? I don't think so. How about that, man? That's hilarious. I'm gonna get the Plains that's on top of my library. That's so funny. Oh, but now I don't have access to red. Okay, I'll have it next turn, but... do I just get lost this Enduring Innocence? Really tempting to... If they play another Voice of Victory or whatever. Because I'm just gonna hold up Jeskai Rev. All right. What do you got? You got nothing? Really? Okay. So they probably have Get Lost. It's tempting to like stock up and then still hold up Normalize, but I think I'd rather just hold up Jeskai Rev now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'd rather just hold up Jeskai Rev again. Because if they play a Beza, I think I go for like a big attack with all my monks. I think another land's fine. I think I'm just chilling. Split up. Sure. Okay, so now with holding up 3 steps, I think I go for the win here. Because can I do it? I think so. I think, well, if they play Beza, then no, right? I was thinking like I could probably do 8 damage this turn and then still have Jeskai Rev, so maybe not. Maybe I'm still just chilling. Although I can probably stock up and then hold up 3 steps ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's play this first. I don't think I need that consult the star charts. I don't think so. I don't think so. Leave the red open. Leave the black open. Well, I can tap 1 black. Prowess triggers. Okay, just take inevitable defeat and a land. I mean, I guess I should take the red lands, although it doesn't matter too much. It's because I only have, well, actually I have 3 reds. It doesn't matter. Surveil land would have been slightly better. Okay, I should have this though. Even if they like remove one of my monks. Okay, they're not going to do that. Nothing? Really? That's crazy. Nothing at all? Sure. Now Lightning Helix off the top wins the game. Didn't get it, but I think I have enough mana to stock up and play Jeskai Rev. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do. Gotta tap carefully again. Not that carefully, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so Lightning Helix and Jeskai Rev wins the game. So Helix and just land. I mean, I don't need the Azula. That doesn't matter. And Lightning Helix. Are they gonna just activate the Fountain Port to do 1 damage to themselves? No? Okay. I don't think there's a card that they can draw that's gonna gain them life. Sure. Okay. Definitely gonna put a null in, I think, because they have the Enduring Innocence and the Overlord and possibly Carrot Cake. And then I might not need this many Get Lost. The Pinnacle Star Cage is really good. Pyroclasm would be good, except they have the land that gives everything ++1, right? But even so, I'm thinking negates. I'm thinking negates and Pyroclasm. So I can probably cut a Get Lost. Well, Scorching Dragonfire for sure, right? For the Enduring Innocence. Actually, this is kind of a tough sideboard. Well, you know what? I think, again, I hate to say it, but I don't think I need Azula, because they have so many, they have board wipes and removal and all this stuff, so let's put this, maybe just 1. Then how do I get the negates in here? I do want the Inevitable Defeat, so these are for Enduring Innocence. This is for Elspeth, and possibly Beza. Voice of Victory and hitting face and everything. I definitely need No More Lies again in this matchup. I mean, I could see the 3 steps ahead is really useful. This is going to be a slow, grindy matchup. So being able to draw and discard, being able to loot and counter a spell. All right, let's trim a No More Lies and put in a negate. Try it. Yeah, but they just, unfortunately, they just have too much removal in their deck to keep Azula in. Okay. This is probably good enough. A little weird, but I think I have to use this consult to find a 3rd land, but then I have to stock up still, and then I have other stuff to do. So I think it's reasonable. Okay, found another consult anyway. Land? It's not a land, but it is a Get Lost. I think it's fine. I have other removal. And a counter spell. Sure, there's the Carrot Cake. Okay, Blood Farm Birds is good. I don't think I need to shock myself. I don't think I need to shock myself here. Might even just use one of these consults to find the land. Take 1 damage, sure. Okay. I would like to negate something better than that, but at the same time, this gains them 3 life and it makes another rabbit. Okay, I think I'll use the consult. Probably just taking another Helix. I have another consult and a stock up, so, and another stock up. Okay, I still don't think I need to shock this in. Take 2 more damage, sure. Okay. I think I am going to consult again. A little weird, but... because that'll be 3 consults, right? Because I have to put 1 at the bottom. Yeah, that's weird. I think it's fine, though. I need to find a land, so... just do it. I think River Pyre Verge is better. Yeah, it is, for sure. Okay, so that's another stock up though. I got a lot of my card draw all on top of itself here. Let's have Lightning Helix and Negate available. It's a little weird. This game is weird. It's at the point where I might Helix them directly. I just want to save Helix for Voice of Victory, but... Normalize is good. Don't need to stock up yet. Wow, well I'm gonna keep it because I have no card draw if I get rid of that. I put another stock up on the bottom, reconsult the star chart, so this is it. These stock ups are what's gonna have to carry me through this game, so I'm gonna have to keep it. What a weird game. This is gonna be so long and so grindy. Just have to hope that I come out on top. Pyroclasm is good, but so is land and so is Jeskai Rev. I might not need the Jeskai Rev right now. I think just Pyroclasm and the land. But I don't have the Pyroclasm right now. I can actually wait. They might crack that Carrot Cake. So I think the Foundry, because they don't have counter spells, so I don't need this thing. Misrise Village, this, and this. This can enter tapped. They didn't crack the Carrot Cake. All right. I think that's negatable. Stock up again. Okay, Pinnacle Star Cage is good. Day of Judgment is good as well, but I do need a land. Yeah, I need a land, and it's gonna have to be Godless Shrine because I need the black for defeats. And they're gonna start playing around Normalize. I don't think I need another one, but I definitely want board wipes. Do I shock this land in? Probably not. Actually, maybe. Yeah, I think I do. Dock it and play Pyroclasm. This is going to be a very long, grindy game. Opponents at 18 with the carrot cake. They can't play anything big. They can't even impend an Overlord without another land. Okay, now they can impend Overlord. That's what they're not doing. What? What? Okay. Crazy. I mean, I'm just going to inevitably defeat that carrot cake, I think. Save my stock up, save my get lost, save everything else. Because I have get lost for an Elspeth or anything else, Beza, any of that stuff. And then the Starcades will get the map tokens as well. Sure. What else you got? Star Cage and stock up. We can tap another one of these. Okay, 3 steps ahead for sure. And I guess Scorching Dragonfire. I don't have a Quarry Mountain Monastery yet, actually. That might be relevant. But I'm gonna really regret that Scorching Dragonfire if they play an Enduring Innocence. But I do want to be able to dig through my library, so... Now, I don't have the mana for both of these. Oh, no, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do. I absolutely do. So Beza is not a problem. Elspeth is. Overlord is. There we go. Okay. So now I just hold up, or I just use the monastery and hope it gets me there. I knew that having all my draw spells early on was going to be an issue, but I kind of just needed to do that to keep up. Oh, I guess, no, we'll wait. We'll wait to do this. I'm thinking, like, what if it's stock up? Nah, just screw it. Just screw it. Just a land. I was obviously hoping for a counterspell there. Okay. I mean, this might be the end. I just, you know... I knew that having all that stuff... yeah, I knew that having all those draw spells in the beginning was going to be an issue, but... I just didn't have lands, so... And now I'm getting too many lands. Might just concede here just to, like, save the time. That doesn't do anything. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I needed to use those draw spells, so I needed to hit the lands. Yeah. Oh, Lightning Helix gives me another turn, but it's not worth it. There's no way I can keep up now. Okay. I think I can just keep everything the same, though. Just a little bit awkward having so many draw spells early on in the game and then not enough later on. I mean, it is tempting to put in the 4th Get Lost, though, just because of Overlord. So, like, it's Overlord, Elspeth, and Voice of Victory and all this stuff, but I don't like giving them the map tokens, honestly. Actually, Aetherize is pretty good in there against them, right? Instead of Day of Judgment. Well, is it? Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Because either way, those tokens are gone. Let's try again. This is probably good enough. Don't have to waste my consult the star charts early on at this time. Ooh, Lightning Helix. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna Helix that. Can probably get this Water Grave down. Just inevitable defeat that. Getting a couple exile things here. I can't stop an Overlord. They can't play Elspeth. If they play Carrot Cake, I can Star Cage it. So I don't see any reason to not do this. Gonna Get Lost the Innocence. Surprised that they left their Get Lost and... Oh. Duh. That's what they're doing. Okay. Now I'm just chilling. Dark Age, Day of Judgment. I think land and consult. Or is it better to get consult and normalize? Maybe it is better to get consult and normalize. They don't have that many lands. I might consult on my turn just to make sure I find a land. Alright, let's do that. I might also be able to just miss a land. Oh, I got a land anyway. I think like it might not be too bad to just miss a land drop there. Okay, I'm looking pretty good. They will make a fish, so be it. Didn't have to normalize that, but okay, now I will consult and then I will Pinnacle Star Cage. Or is it better to Day of Judgment? I think I should Pinnacle Star Cage. Grab another consult and grab a land. Don't really need to Get Lost. Do I need another black source? No. Just take the red land. Okay, Noble Defeat was really good, and I think I should shock this in. So tap this, and this. Yes. Still looking good. Sure. So I will just inevitable defeat Beza, right? They just gain some life off this, and that's it. Oh, they also get a treasure. Lightning Helix is really good. Just pass the turn. Lightning Helix them directly. Okay. Now I guess I should Lightning Helix the Voice. I don't know though, I need to start actually doing damage. Alright, let's consult first. And then maybe we'll Helix them directly depending upon what we see. They do have mana to pay for Normalize, speaking of Normalize. Okay, just get Jeskai Rev. And then another Consult the Star Charts. And then Lightning Helix them directly. And then like Jeskai Rev the Voice, I guess. Definitely Consult the Star Charts though, 100%. So, okay, let me think about this. Helix them directly, but if I Jeskai Rev on my turn, they're just gonna, maybe I just Day of Judgment, honestly. Or I can consult, see if I find something better than that. Alright, yeah, let's just do this. We need to start actually doing damage to them. Sure. So now it's probably just Day of Judgment, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not gonna tap it like that. That looks better. Negates, because I can't activate the Fountain Port right now. Might be getting close to Jeskai Rev time. 3 steps ahead. I think that's fine. Can also like just grab that with Consult if they play something that's really a problem. Okay. I can just get lost to Elspeth. But maybe it is better to... I think actually, you know what? I think it's time to Jeskai Rev and send Elspeth back to the hand. I think I win the game then. So, return to hand, 4 damage to any target, and I think I win next turn. Yeah. Grindy game, but I just really had their number in that 3rd game. Or grindy match, I should say, but really had their number in that 3rd game. Cool. Okay, on the play. Oh, this is terrible. Yeah, I mean, if I find something with Thundering Falls, then it's not so bad. But if I don't, I think I just lose. I have to mulligan. Okay, this is better. Get rid of that Jeskai Rev. Okay. So I don't think I have to Helix the Elves. It'd be more important to Helix the Badger Molcub. Okay. Do I Helix the Elves? I actually think so. 3 steps ahead, whatever comes next, and then consult the star charts. Okay, another Helix is good. Not using the map token. Okay. Obsessive Pursuit. Okay. I feel like that actually is too dangerous and I need to counter that. Really tempting to just Lightning Helix that Gene Pollinator. Didn't tap it for mana. Okay, gonna stock up. I think I want to leave red open, right? Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, take the land, and then probably get lost, but I kind of want Day of Judgment as well. Can't take Jeskai Rev right now, unfortunately. Did I find a Jeskai Rev earlier? I don't, oh I did, oh no. Oh, that was the one that I had in my opening hand, right? Okay, I can't let that go then, right? Because I need it to win the game. Okay. Really want to use this Meticulous Archive. Let's just do this. Bluff having something. Damn. Okay. Lands, don't need. Yep. Okay. Don't need the land. I think just Jeskai Rev and Helix. Send one of these back to hand to get rid of the map, but I want them to attack because I want to kill one of them too. Sure. Sure. Okay, so now what? I think I just have to Jeskai Rev again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I guess I should have played the untapped land so I could Helix in Jeskai. Sure. Okay. Sure. Now I can send it back to their hand, right? Because they can't replay it. I think they already played a land. Inevitable Defeat was a really good find. So was Pinnacle Starcage for that matter. Can I win this turn? If I shock this in? They can gain 3 life off of the... So they're at 15, right? So this will be 3, 6, and then each of these will be 3. 3, 6, 12. And then I need 2 more spells. So I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I'm gonna try though. Should have tapped this village. Does Get Lost do it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 5. So I don't think so. Because they'll get 2 more, so I'm 1 damage short. Don't want to Star Cage with my monks on the field though, and I already have one. So I Helix them, I Get Lost the Obsessive Pursuit, and then I Inevitable Defeat the Sentinel, something like that. Oh, wait a minute. If I do it all, I do win, right? So if I do this, because they're gonna lose 1 life off of this. Okay, so they're still at 12, right? But now if I Inevitable Defeat, then I think I do win. They lose 1 life off of the pursuit. No way, they have removal? Do they have removal? No! Damn. They go to 1. Damn. Well, 1 more Lightning Helix gets it done. Or 1 more defeat. Oh, I've already used 3 Lightning Helixes, though. And I've used all my Jeskai Revs. Oh wait, they're gonna lose 1 life off this. They have to get the food thing, right? Okay. They have to get the food thing, but then I can just... They have to get a food somehow. Because they just wouldn't lose 1 life off of that pursuit right there. Well, I can also just... Okay. Okay. Oh, but now they gain life off of this? Yeah. Okay. So now what? How do I get out of this jam? They're gonna keep making foods off of this cottage, so I think I should just kill it with Get Lost. And then stock up in Star Cage. Let's stock up first. Okay. 3 stabs and maybe stock up again. Maybe Get Lost, actually. So I want to hold up 3 stabs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be 7. Oh, but I can't do that and Star Cage, unfortunately. Well, I can hold up Normalize. Get rid of this. You can also just hold up Get Lost. And then I'll Get Lost the Restless Cottage. Before it attacks so that they can't get a food. Consult the star charts was a really good find. Might not need the Quarry Mountain Monastery. Trying to tap carefully here, obviously. I mean, 1 Lightning Helix wins me the game right now. Or Inevitable Defeat. So I just take that. And then it doesn't matter. Cool. Tough match. Okay. I think I want a null. Maybe I want negate instead, actually. Because they have the, they have this thing. The Witch's Vanity. Let's put a Pyroclasm. I do want the Star Cage for all of those tokens that they make. I can't tell if there's any creatures that are really that big. I mean, they didn't get an Ouroboros with this. I mean, is it possible they have Rotten Mouth Viper? That was in like a Doomwake video, right? Using Obsessive Pursuit and Rotten Mouth Viper. I'm just thinking that I might not need the Day of Judgments. Might be able to cut them both, actually. Feels a little risky to do that. Pyroclasm, negate. Maybe just trim it 3 steps ahead, honestly. Etherize is tempting. Alright, let's try this. This hand looks pretty good. Land. I might not need that right now. I have enough lands to get to consult the star charts, so. Sure. Another Lightning Helix is not bad. Okay. Interesting. I think I might just Lightning Helix them directly. Okay, well then I'm just gonna Lightning Helix the elves. Sure. I think I want to negate that. And I don't want to get lost the Obsessive Pursuit just yet because it's actually helping me. It's doing damage to my opponents. So. Sure. Drawing a card every turn. Sure. I don't know if this is a good consult, actually. Because it's only 4. Next turn it would be 5. I think I just wait. And then I think I actually just wait again. Airship. Okay. That can be a problem, but when they all attack, I'm going to get rid of the tokens with Etherize. So I think it's fine. I'm gonna, I mean, go ahead and make your tokens. And then when those airships are tokens, I'm gonna Etherize them and they're all gonna go away. Tempting to still just wait. I think I'm just waiting. Really weird, but I think I'm just showing some discipline here. I don't know if this is at the end of every ed step or just your end step. Your end step, okay. That's fine. Make your airships. Sure. Could search for a counterspell. Oh, but No More Lies wouldn't work. Duress. Okay. So they'll get my Etherize. Probably, right? I mean, Pinnacle Starcades will get all of them as well. Wow, they didn't get the Etherize. Yeah, tempting to just get lost the Sentinel. Don't need to get lost that. I think I should just Lightning Helix them, but I can wait. Okay, 3 steps ahead was a good find. Sure. So it's 8, right? 8 or more permanents, yeah. That's fine. Sure. As long as they don't get lifelink. So I think I should leave the Day of Judgments in, actually. Maybe it is worth countering this, actually. Destroy target creature and opponent. So it's just a food token? And then a Wicked Roll token. Yeah, but I want to draw and discard is the thing, so... Okay. Finding an Azula is not bad, actually. Although it might be irrelevant. We'll see. If Azula gets to attack and I can double Lightning Helix, that's actually good. I have 7 lands. So I'm going to need an untapped land to be able to play Azula and still Etherize. Okay, they have another one. It is tempting to get lost at just so that they don't have the food token. Okay. So now, yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, let's play Azula. And then we can potentially Etherize. I mean, they won't attack, right? There's no way that they attack right now with all the ships. They're just going to keep attacking with like one of them. Yeah. Oh, wait. What? What are you doing? I don't know. Very confused. Well, I got rid of half of them, but I guess they sacked a permanent, right? So they can just make another 4. I guess is the idea. We'll see if I draw Pinnacle Star Cage. Okay. So that wins me the game. Azula is insane, man. Wow. That is amazing. Wow. God, I love this card so much. Firebending too. Bam. Do they have a food? Oh, they do have a food. Oh, so I lost. Oh well. Oh well, I got to do the thing, but it wasn't enough. So now I can get lost 2 things, but it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, because they have lethal with just the airships, so. I forgot about the food, man. I knew the food was going to be a problem. I definitely knew the food was going to be a problem. Oh, but now they don't have... Oh, shoot. Now they don't have... They're not creatures. Oh, wait a minute. This is such a weird game. Well, one Jeskai revelation off the top. Okay. Oh, they don't have Summoning Sickness. Okay. What a weird game. So I definitely want the Day of Judgment then. Because of these airships. I didn't realize. And actually, I want Ultima. Because aren't they artifacts? I might not really need the Pyroclasm after all. Put in Ultima. I still think the Etherize is good. The Pinnacle Star Cage is good. And Azula almost won me that game. I might be able to cut a Get Lost. Because it gives them map tokens. In fact, it's tempting to like cut all of Get Lost and just play like Day of Judgments. I think maybe we do cut one Get Lost and play another day. They threw me off in the beginning with like the Gene Pollinators and the Llanowar Elves and the Badgermolka, but that's not their plan. Man, Azula really is insane though. I almost won that game. So if I had destroyed 2 airships... Oh no, but they had 2 airships. They had 2 more airships, so... I think we just try this. This is probably good enough. I'm running a little low on time. Duress. Gene Pollinator. That's... Why are you doing that? You're playing against a control deck, buddy. That made 0 sense. And it seems like they missed a land. That made 0 sense. Okay, they didn't miss a land. It's just a tapped land. Lightning Helix was a good draw. That's all you're gonna do. Feels like I maybe should have consulted for a land, because now I just have to kind of hold, but that's fine. I will hold. Why? Why are you playing Soul Guide Lantern against me? Why are you playing Intimidation Tactics and Soul Guide Lantern? Makes zero sense at all. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna have to take the Ultima because it's too relevant, so... There goes two stock-ups, unfortunately. Oh, wow. Well, I have counterspells. I have Ultima and Jeskai Revelation. Badger Mole. Sure. I think I have to consult to just find my 5th land. I'll probably get lost that. Actually, I don't really have to, do I? Because that does drain them life. Sure. But it is generating a lot of value for them. Sure. Oh boy, they're all tapped. Oh wait, this one's not. Take that and take a Helix, maybe? It's also tempting to just take more lands. Okay. Shields are down. Sure. So now I think I get lost the Obsessive Pursuit. It does give them map tokens though, but even so. Well, there's another Ultima. What the heck is that? You know what? I'm gonna let that come down because I have Ultima coming up. Sure. Sure. So there's no point in holding up No More Lies. But I mean, with Jeskai Rev. Sure. Okay, I think with double Jeskai Rev I can do this. Why'd you shock that in? Why'd they shock that land in? Okay, I still don't know why they shocked that land in. Sure. Jeskai Rev again? I mean, I don't have to Jeskai Rev. I can consult the star charts, but I want to kill this Badger Mole is the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just play this tapped. Jeskai Rev. Return to hand. 4 damage. I guess I could have also done 4 damage to them directly. That might have been better. Yeah, that might have been better. We'll see if it matters. Okay. Cool deck from my opponent, though. Really cool deck. I think that was a slight misplay. I feel like I should have done 4 damage to them directly, but interesting deck from my opponent and tough matchup. 4-color control, man. It's just really good. So I hope you enjoyed this gameplay featuring my version of 4-color control. This deck is really cool, and I've said it already, but Fire Lord Azula is such a cool card. I think I want to try fitting her in a couple other decks. And as I said in the intro, I really do think that this is the best control deck right now. Along with Jeskai control, the two of them are definitely capable of keeping up in the current meta. And if you prefer playing Jeskai control, then my list can also serve as a base for that. You know, just take out the Azulas, take out the defeats, put in 3 copies of Shiko, replace the 2 star cages with 2 copies of Split Up, so that way you can bring those back with Shiko if you want, and probably cut a Consult the Star Charts for Rediscover the Way. And then you would have 1 slot available. You know, if you're taking out 2 defeats and 2 Azulas, putting in 3 Shikos, and you have 1 slot left, you could put a Meringue River Regent, or you could just put another removal spell, you know, a Braid or Pyroclasm or some kind of burn spell, or anything like that. You could put in an Essence Scatter as another counter spell if you want to try that. And then obviously no reason to run the black lands. But you got to see a little bit of the power of Fire Lord Azula. She has such a higher ceiling compared to Shiko. It is unbelievable, even though you don't get to take advantage of it all the time. And look, Inevitable Defeat is still phenomenal, right? It can't be countered. You get the life and you make your opponent lose life. So the burn strategy here of Lightning Helix, Inevitable Defeat, Jeskai Revelation, this is still very much possible, and really it's the primary way that this deck wins. Again, this is not an easy deck to pilot, and your games are going to go very long. I mean, at a minimum, you pretty much need to be at 7 lands to win the game, right? Because you got to cast Jeskai Revelation. But even once you get to 7 lands, you might need to wait a little bit longer after that. But man, it is just so satisfying to win with this deck. It is so satisfying to cast Jeskai Revelation. This card is so cool. It is so satisfying to use Azula. Such a cool card from Avatar. As I said during the deck tech, don't be attached to your 2 top-end cards, though. If you see them too early, you need to just move on and look for something else. There's also this feeling in a lot of my games where I need to trust the deck a little bit, where I need to play out stuff in my hand, but now it's like, okay, I don't really have much left, and I kind of need to have some faith that something is going to come around, even if it's just something as simple as like a Quarry Mountain Monastery that allows me to look through the deck a little bit more. I think with Azorius control and some other control lists, players get a little bit used to having tons of cards in their hand, you know, like 5, 6, 7 cards in their hand as often as possible. I don't think that's a realistic expectation to just maintain throughout every game when you're using this deck. You're going to need to use your stuff, your Lightning Helix, your Get Lost, etc. And again, don't be afraid to just Lightning Helix your opponent directly, because this is how you're going to win the game. It's just burning them out. But also, if the game's going a little bit longer and you have a Jeskai Revelation in your hand, you might want to hold the defeat or hold the Lightning Helix to trigger the prowess on your mugs. But then again, as I said before, the stock up, that triggers prowess, and that could potentially find you another thing to trigger prowess again, or remove something from your opponent's side to close the game out. If you want to start dabbling in control, whether it's these specific 4 colors, or the one that splashes green, or 5 colors, or even just regular Jeskai, then there is a lot that you can pull from this list that I have. Certainly the 4 Get Lost, 4 Normalize, 4 Helix, the mana base, the 3 Jeskai Revelation. You're definitely not going to want 4 of these. A lot of what's in the sideboard can apply to any of those lists. And again, if you're going to go the 5 color route, I would recommend starting with the 4 Cornucopias in the main, maybe having a Songcrafter Mage in the sideboard. But instead, if you're going to do 4 colors with green instead of black, you can have the 2 Songcrafter Mages in the main and then the 4 Cornucopias. That wraps this one up. I'm really glad that I was able to showcase a bit more variety on my channel by having a different control deck. And dude, I really enjoy this deck. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I'm going to be playing this deck more. I guess I'm just a dirty control player now who's fed up with these standard formats. If you enjoyed, then drop me a like to beat the YouTube algorithm, and leave me some feedback in the comments. Are you a control player, and which shell do you like? Azorius, Jeskai, 4 color? What do you think about Fire Lord Azula, and have you been experimenting with her in other decks? I gotta say, I would be really interested to see that if any of you have been. Also, if you are looking to discuss certain brews in detail or just find some like-minded people to play Magic the Gathering with, then you can join my Discord server that's linked in the description. And lastly, if you are a fan of this kind of Magic the Gathering content that gets deep into deck building, play patterns, and other aspects of the game, then subscribe to the channel to see more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.